Alrighty, hi guys, this is Dan, and I thought I should share with you how I solved the Rubik's Cube. There's a few algorithms out there and a couple videos obviously covering this subject, but I find that either the quality isn't that good or it's too complicated. So starting with the 3x3, we'll be moving up to the 4x4 as well, but we should cover this one, so let's do this one first. So here are all the algorithms that I use. Now let's just quickly talk about the letters in the algorithms. So I always prefer going by the white face. Facing us is the front, so capital F, and we're moving it clockwise this way, counterclockwise that way, or also inverted. Inverted is that way, clockwise. Then R for right, L for left, up, or U for up, and then D for down, and B for back, which I actually don't even have. Now, if you get confused with what is clockwise and what is counterclockwise, very simple. Always just think of this, the face that you're moving facing you. So white is obvious. Then with the top, you just turn it clockwise, counterclockwise. Then same with right, if you're not sure, just make it face you, clockwise, and so on and so forth.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it!
Oh man, you can mix this thing up for hours and actually start solving it at the same time. Anyway, so here we are. The first thing that everybody always does in this easy mode, this is not a speed cubing tutorial, especially considering these are not speed cubes, and they get sticky, so bear with me. What we want to do is the white cross. What does that mean? White face is on the 3x3 predetermined by its center right here. All of the centers tell you where the colors need to go, what we need to solve. So we just need this to be a white cross. The way we do this very reliably is we'll turn the cube over to the yellow side, and now we're putting in place the 4 edges. So there was the one on the bottom already. Then we have one over here. It's simple enough. Okay, we'll just turn that up. Then we have one down here. Oh, actually we have one here as well. We'll just turn that up. And there's the other one. We'll just turn this over and that up. Now if you have one that is, say, like that, laying on its side, then you do what I just did to put it in the place. Because obviously if you turn it up, it's on the side, right? So you just need to turn this face that it's on 90 degrees, and then you can already see it would go up in here. Okay, now all that's left to do is we'll align the color of the blocks with the corresponding center, and we'll turn all these into place. And then we have our white cross.
Alrighty then.
Now comes the fun part where we put in corners. For some reason I really like that. So we'll just pick one that's already... oh no, let's find one that's on the bottom here. Okay, because usually you displace the wrong corners with the one that's in the bottom layer. So let's pick the green and red, which needs to go there. So all we need to do is move it out of the way. We'll bring the slot down it needs to go into. Move that in there and turn it back up. Okay, so really the trick on these cubes is, and you need to understand this with a little bit of just working at it, because you'll end up doing this, probably 100 times, and then it all becomes muscle memory anyway. But what we are always doing is, we don't just place the blocks immediately, because it will always mess up the layer it's in. So really what we're doing is we need to save the block and we need to save the layer. So usually if we move a layer and grab a block, that works, because then when we move the layer back, the block is placed. If that makes any sense. I know it gets confusing. This one here is in the right corner, but it's laying on the side. So that's not a problem. All we need to do is we'll turn it down and then we'll move it to the back, because that will flip it 90 degrees, and then we'll bring it back up. Okay, so this is what we did. We turned it down, we moved it to the back, we bring that layer back up, flips it 90 degrees, and then we just save it again, and there we are. Now to the green and orange, which needs to go there. Okay, and it's in place. Next step is we need to solve the edges, and we're looking for blocks that don't have yellow in them. Reason being is because the yellow is in the bottom side. That's the only reason. And then all the blocks that have both colors, they are the middle layer. Now, if let's say you have all yellow layers in the bottom, then you just need to start displacing those blocks. Okay, so now we have all the yellow ones in the bottom layer, so it doesn't matter really which way we move the bottom layer, we'll displace any which color block in the middle layer. So, you know, it doesn't matter. And the way we do this, let me explain with a proper color, which in this case is red and green. Now, we have to line up our red and green right here, and green being on the left side tells us we need to move the layer the opposite way, which is right. So we'll move it right, away from that color. We bring that face it needs to go into down. Then we move the block back in place, and we bring that layer back up. And then all we need to do is we are actually placing this pair in place just the way you did before with when you were placing corners. Okay, but we need to save it, bring it in, bring it up, and there you go. That's all you do, is just displacing the blocks. So the algorithm for this would be, okay, let's do this red and blue one. So red is here, blue is on this side, okay? D inverted, R inverted, D, R, D again, then F, D inverted, and then F inverted. Now you see, and I actually wanted to do what I always do, which is turning the cube 90 degrees. It just goes in place better. What do I mean with that? We line it up, move it away, bring down, move over, move that up, and then I turn it like this. It just seems to flow nicer for me. There's the orange, away from blue, bring the blue down, over, just like that. And then we have the middle and top layer solved. And it just so happens that there is a yellow cross here, but that will go away pretty quickly. How it works is it starts with the dot, it moves into this hook shape, and then it becomes the bar. After the bar, it becomes the cross. So what we need to do with the dot, doesn't matter where you hold the cube, is you do the algorithm we're going to do here in a second. When it's the hook, you want to have this pointing up into the top left corner, and then you do this. So F, R, U, R inverted, U inverted, and F inverted. When it's the bar, you keep it horizontal, you do the same thing. F, R, U, R inverted, U inverted, F inverted. Okay, so then we have that cross.
I know I'm smarter than this bra.
Then what we need to do is maybe try and find colors that line up. These two do. When they are adjacent, like this, then you have them face in the top left. So when they're like this, facing each other, so there's blue and green aligned, then you do this algorithm. First of all, they need to point in the direction you're viewing the cube. It's R, U2, R inverted, U inverted, R, U inverted, R inverted. And then you should end up with them adjacent, one or the other colors. And those are again facing into the top left corner. Okay, top left, R, U2, R inverted, U inverted, R, U inverted, R inverted, U inverted. And then all the colors are lined up.
Don't worry, don't be nervous.
Okay.
I'm here to help you.
And then we should see either all of the corners are placed, none of the corners are placed, or one of the corners are placed in the correct position. In our case, it's blue and red that is correct. And then all the other ones, they just need to move. And the way they have to move is actually like this. From here to there, there to there, there to there. So it's going to do this kind of motion with the algorithm we're just about to apply. And it goes, so let's actually just pay attention to this yellow, red, and green. Okay, it should end up here. Let's just do this. So it is L inverted, U, R, U inverted, L, U, R inverted. And then U inverted to just line up the cross again. Okay, so yellow, red, and green are right there. We'll do this one more time, and that should bring everything one more revolution around. Okay, so all the corners are basically in their correct position. All we need to do now is flip the cubes on their side.
Really makes me go like,
So you can end up again with a lot of different ways this can look. Either you have the blocks facing all to the side, or you have them face one this side, one the other side. You have them diagonal. Whichever way, preferably what you want to end up with is blocks facing the side out like that. And then you can hold them like this. When it's diagonal, preferably have it on the bottom right, but it doesn't really matter. What we're going to do is this one is going to be flipped up correctly, and this one here will mess up to where it's actually facing this way, which then becomes a pair with that block. It will become apparent in a second. So you do this algorithm that we did before where we aligned the cross. You just do it times 2. So for the right and the left side. It goes like this. R, U2, R inverted, U inverted, R, U inverted, R inverted, L inverted, U, 2, L inverted, or L, U, L inverted, U, L. Okay, so like I said, I have not moved the cube any other way, but we've corrected this corner here and just flipped that one to the side. Okay, and then now we have this paired, and you do this algorithm as often as it takes to flip these the right way. It's that simple. So it's R, U2, R inverted, U inverted, R, U inverted, R inverted. I actually have to think really hard about this because it becomes very natural where you don't think of the algorithm, you just do the movement. It's kind of fascinating. So same thing then for the left side, just so it corrects itself. It's L inverted, U2, L, U, L inverted, U, and L. And there's a solved cube.
If somebody farted or something.